On today's show, I set a cup down on a table, 3 ladies walk off a bus, Steve wears a hat, and Nash gets his big break.
Hi, Jason.
Hello,
it's time
Kathy.
for transportation talk.
Woohoo! Transportation talk is here again, and I'm telling you, I'm going to try to throw my hat and see if it hits. Okay, no, it did not go onto the hook, but it came close.
Nice try.
It's not that good of a day.
Nice try. But I do have something to share with you. I just heard that there's a holiday tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know about it?
You know, I did. And I think it's a pretty cool one and something that I think it's time to highlight.
All right. Well, let's talk about it.
Yes. So I will say to you, Kathy, tomorrow we are going to celebrate Rural Transit Day. It's a thing.
Woo-hoo. It's a thing. It's real. Look on your calendars. Look it up,
Absolutely.
folks.
It's really important that we look at this because I think some of the things that we're going to talk about here and why we even do this is to celebrate. It reminds those of us that are in the transit agency that, that we're out here and we are, really doing everything that we can to ensure that we recognize our passengers and the staff on all rural transit districts, on this one day. It could be a whole month, but no, it's a day. Okay. But it's important for people to see that. It's important for them to understand that, when we're doing something good, we want to make sure that we celebrate that and show people that we care.
Absolutely. And especially since a lot of times people don't really realize that in rural areas such as ours, that we have public transit.
Yeah, I agree.
And our system out here on the coast really is something to be celebrated because
it is.
Considering our population, we have a pretty robust system.
Oh, and the miles that the system travels is just, it's cool. It's insane. It's everything, it's crazy. So Kathy, there's a pledge here.
Okay.
That's what Rural Transit Day is about. National R.T.A.P, which is Rural Transit Association program. They decided, hey, let's do this and let's make a pledge so that we can every year on this day that we can pledge to do some of these things. And one of them, Kathy, is understanding the unique needs, because there are of rural and tribal passengers and the services that service them. There are unique needs, and we need to focus on that. We need to understand that, right? We need to understand that there's needs.
So this pledge, I'm hoping you're going to read it for us so that we can all know, some of the things that people that are in leadership and rural transit agencies especially have to keep in mind all the time.
Yeah, and that pledge, so, on Rural Transit Day, this is specifically from R.T.A.P, on Rural Transit Day and every day actually throughout the year, we pledge to do these following things. And one of them is, number one, is understanding the unique needs of what we do here in the rural area, right? I mean, like you were mentioning the other day, we're not inner city. We're not urban in a very condensed area where there's hundreds of buses going by, stops every 15 minutes. We're in a rural area where we have a great service, but there are many more miles to travel. And we need to understand that there are those challenges that we have to overcome.
Absolutely. And things are a little bit more spread out, but people still need to feel connected.
Yes. And by being connected, Kathy, the second thing is to provide all passengers with great, courteous, and respectful customer service. And we do that. I'm thankful that we do. I encourage every other district out there that might challenge in that area for them to really look at how they can become better at that. We always need to work to be better, but there we go. We have to be courteous and respectful of our customer service. Number 3, Kathy, deliver equal service to all passengers, regardless of age, background, abilities, income, or gender.
Or gender identity.
Yes. And then number 4, Kathy, is we want to coordinate with community organizations, okay, to provide transportation to as many destinations as possible. And then number 5, and we can chit chat about it a little bit, involve passengers, community stakeholders, and elected officials in service planning. So we're going to talk about those, those last few ones there, and we on the second, you'll watch a little video here in a second, but we'll move on to the final 5. But Kathy, those are all very important things that we need to consider when celebrating Rural Transit Day, right?
Absolutely. And out here, 2 of our 3 transit districts are elected. They are public entities. They are special districts. And so they are served by a board of elected officials. And so the voters in the area elect the people that guide the direction of the transit districts. And that is super important to being able to get all that input and make sure that the transit district is serving those that need it. In Columbia County, the transit district is not a special district. It is part of the county. It's a county department, but in that it is still serving the public and has public officials that are maintaining it and watching over that budget.
Well, I think that is so cool to hear that, Kathy, and recognizing that really coordinating with those individuals, within the city, and having that board is a really good way to be able to ensure that the district is definitely plugged into, these specific pieces of the community and other elected officials. It's so important to have that level of communication between these entities. So listen, we're going to watch a little video that is all about celebrating Rural Transit Day. I thank everyone who put some time into this, and it was a blast to make. There's some pretty encouraging people that are just jumping out and saying, hey, here we go, woohoo. So Kathy, we're going to take a look at this video and we'll be right back.
Happy Rural Transit Day! Happy Rural Transportation.
Hi, I'm Jason. I am the Mobility Manager Travel Trainer for SETD, Sunset Empire Transportation District. And I bet you're kind of wondering why there's a Texas armadillo on my desk. Texas. Anyhow, so we are here to present to you a really cool video where we're showing exactly what it is like for our small transportation districts to provide service to the local community. Enjoy your time while me and my friends explain to you how cool it is to be a small transit district in a rural part of Oregon.
Happy Rural Transit Day!
Hi, from the great state of Iowa, where they grow a whole bunch of corn, I'd like to wish you all a happy Rural Transit Day. We appreciate those riders that ride our system, and we especially appreciate all of our drivers and everybody else that works at Sunset Empire. Have a great Rural Transit Day, and we'll see you back in Oregon.
Happy Rural Transportation Day, everyone.
Happy Rural Transportation Day! Happy Rural Transportation Day!
Happy Rural Transit Day! There's no horseback rides in the city.
Hey everybody, just wanted to say happy Rural Transportation Day. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time I'm on the show.
Happy Rural Transit Day. You are awesome.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Hey riders, it's Eric with SETD Action News coming to you live from the Seaside Transit office with news you should know. Happy Rural Transit Day, Saturday, July 16th. So let's get out and ride the bus.
The National Transportation Assistance Program, or R.T.A.P, thought it was a really great idea to, in 2019, come up with a day of celebration. And that day of celebration was Rural Transit Day. So me and my friends are getting together to show you exactly how cool it is to be a small transit district, especially in the state of Oregon. So sit back, enjoy as you continue to use the services that SETD has to offer to you. Happy Rural Transit Day. Please ride the bus.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
I want to wish all the drivers and riders of rural transit a happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Hey everybody, just a fun fact for you. In 2013 alone, rural transit agencies, they provided 495 million miles and 28 million hours of service. Did you know? Happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Public Transit Day from Astoria High School. I hope you have a good day.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Hey, Nash and I want to say Happy Rural Transit Day. Thank you, everybody out there, for providing rural transit.
Hey, this is Ken at the Oregon Department of Transportation in Paco, and we'd like to wish everybody a happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Transit Day!
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Happy Rural Transit Day.
Thank you to everyone who helped make this video possible. It's a lot of fun putting these together. I'm so thankful for their help and their assistance, especially this camera person. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Anyhow, hey, happy Rural Transit Day, everybody. Go out there and enjoy your day.
Rural Transit Day, July 16th. We celebrate what smaller public transportation districts like SETD are doing across the country to transport their communities and recognize the passengers that use the service daily.
It's essential that we understand the unique needs of the passengers in our area and provide helpful, courteous, and respectful customer service.
While coordinating with other community partners, daily passengers' involvement, and the SETD elected Board of Commissioners, we strive to provide the community with the most reliable, relevant, and safe public transit possible.
Thank you to those that make SETD go. And thank you to all who choose to ride our bus. Happy Rural Transit Day.
Well, hey, that was just such an awesome video, and just a reminder, July 16th is Rural Transit Day. Make sure you thank your bus driver and transit workers and just say Happy Rural Transit Day to them in your own way.
Yeah, it would be
Nice.
so appreciative. Yeah, it would be nice. It's good to hear that. It's good to just have that respect for one another in that way and so forth. And everyone, that helped me put together that video, thank you very much out there. You really are an encouragement. Kathy, you as well. I mean, you in the video. So I mean, you're always an encouragement there. But I thought we'd go ahead and continue on here, Kathy. I'll continue.
There's
reading through
5
this
more
and
parts
talk
of that
about it.
pledge,
There are
right?
5 more parts of the pledge, right? So the pledge is, Kathy, is on Rural Transit Day and every day throughout the year. We pledge to, okay, here we go. Assure that vehicles and facilities are safe. Hey, we had a show just recently about being safe, clean, well-maintained, and comfortable. Okay. Number 7 is invest in training and education that keeps staff current and knowledgeable and skilled. I like that last part there, and skilled. Number 8 is to contribute to an organizational culture where staff are motivated and successful. And number 9, have a plan for potential emergencies and disasters and communicate that plan to all stakeholders. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't like disasters all that much, but I do like to try to plan for them at times. So, and then number 10, the last one, but certainly not the least, keep up with and invest in new, hey, favorite word, right? Technologies and funding opportunities to continually improve services. So Kathy, there's a lot there to unpack, but really I think, it's pretty important, right? We want to make sure that our facilities are safe, right? They're clean, well-maintained.
Well, I mean, and I think that some of those pieces of that pledge really explain some of the shows that we've done in the past.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
maybe we need to revisit them. I mean, we've had Rick Hudson from Cannon Beach, who's the emergency preparedness manager. And we've had different people on just to talk about different elements. And we talk about technology all the time. And if you were scratching your head wondering what robotics has to do with transportation options, well, there you go. Because we're keeping our eyes out for potential future developments.
Right. And really, I don't know, Kathy, but it is important for those of us who are in the industry that we feel like that we are, in a culture where we're encouraged and where we are motivated to be successful. And I'll tell you one thing, part of what makes it an enjoyment of working here is I have you across from me. Well, technically we're over this, camera setup here and all that kind of stuff, but when you and I work together, especially like on projects like this, boy, it sure makes me feel like that I'm being successful. I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel.
Same back at you. Same back
Awesome.
at you. And it really makes me appreciate all the different people that are out there that are working in rural transit in our region to make it as good as it possibly can be. And, you know, we've had people that have dedicated their lives to making transit as good as it possibly can be in our region. Little tip of the hat, and thanks to those that we've recently lost, and you know, they've left their marks and
Sure have.
really set the bars high, and we continue to strive to create the systems that they saw in their visions.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, you know, tend to also forget a little bit, you know, with a rural transit district, that we don't have 100 employees. We don't have 100+ staff doing a lot of things. There's just, you know, one of me, and there's one of you, and there's, you know, one of Jeff. We do thankfully have a board and everything, but really we have to, everyone has to come together, and sometimes they wear a couple of hats, you know. So it's important for us to remember that. But, you know, I hope that we never experience the big one around here. But, you know, we just talked about one of the pledges there is that we have to have a plan. We have to have, you know, a direction to go when something big does happen, when any kind of an emergency happens. So it is, you know, we've talked about, we were on a show once, right? Where we walked the whole Cannon Beach place to run to safety for tsunamis and stuff. That's part of planning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And so we
Knowing what to
practice.
do.
Exactly, knowing what to do, and we're ready and able to help out other agencies that might need help. And so, you know, it's emergency prep takes all different facets. And, you know, when we talk about safety and personal safety and being aware of our surroundings, all of that is part of emergency planning.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kathy, as we come to a little bit of closing of the show again, I just think it's really important that we remind the viewers out there, you know, to take the time really to go to, we'll put the link down there to National R.T.A.P. so you can see where Rural Transit Day came from and why it's important. Because it's not just for me to show to you or for us to show to you that it's important, but when you look at it, you can understand, like this pledge, why we take these things very seriously, why we, as an agency that provides transportation to the community, why we do these things or try so hard to work and make ourselves as good as possible on these. So Kathy, you know, if you've got a final thought on why Rural Transit Day is so important, I go for it, please.
Well, I think I'm grateful, and I would be grateful if people out there just take a moment to say Happy Rural Transit Day to all those people that are out there working to provide transit in rural areas, because it creates a connectivity and makes so many more things accessible to people that live rurally. And we're striving to improve it all the time, and it's always good to acknowledge all of the work that goes into creating these systems and maintaining them.
Kathy, happy Rural Transportation Day. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And same to you and all of the people out here
that
work in rural transit. Thank you, and happy Rural Transit Day.
Yes. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe out there. Take care.